Doodle World has a very unique mechanic when it comes to customizing doodles in the form of equipment. But how does it work, and where do you get some equipment? Equipment can be used to adjust your doodle's base stats. And when I say base stats, I don't mean the stats you see on your screen here. If you're wondering what base stats are, well, simply put, the bigger the number, the better the stats get. Every doodle has a different set of base stats, and if you're ever wondering what your doodle's base stat is, simply head to this NPC located in the Graphite Lodge Doodle Center and select your doodle. It will tell you the base stats. As you can see here, Thornton has 65 HP, 115 attack, 60 defense, 75 magic attack, and so on and so forth. Every doodle can hold 3 different types of equipment: a helmet, an amulet, and an artifact. And every piece of equipment can have both positive and negative effects. For example, a sad pebblet gives both attack and defense, but drops both magic attack and magic defense. Using equipment, you could significantly impact the base stats of your doodle. These are what the base stats of my Thornet look like before and after I put on the equipment. And just for clarity's sake, here are the stats after I put on the equipment. I will now go over every piece of equipment in the game currently and where you can get them. The stats will be shown on screen to save time, so let's get into this. There is the Ball Cut, which is found on Wild Wiglet, the Doodad, which is found on Wild Borbo, the Head Leaf, which is found on Wild Springling, the Magnificent Top Hat, which is found on Wild Flittum, and you could also get some from completing the Lipo tasks. The Whatchamacallit, which you can find on Wild Geku. The Crystal Shard, which can be found on Wild Glimew, though it's rare. Have fun, that's pain. The Mini Camera, which can only be found through a Help Center request, and you have to take a perfect photo, so if you don't get it the first try, try until it's perfect. The Scrap Paper, which is found in a house found in Lakewood, the first house on your left when you enter it. Simply come to this bookshelf and click on a book. You get a scrap paper, and that's that. Now the stats are really bad, but fun fact, if you collect 100 of these, you get the Lost title. Moving on, there is the Computer Mouse, which you can find on Wild Riffrat, but you can also find it in this blue house by annoying the gamer a few times until he gives you the mouse. The Decorative Katana, which can be found on Kawosu's from the Roulette, you also get a free one at the beginning of the story. The Amber Trapped Fly, which can be found on Wild Rosebud, as well as a task reward from Flittum. The Thingamajig, which is found on Wild Bunsweet. The Sad Pebblet, which can be found on Wild Pebblet. The Beach Ball, which can always be found on Wild Glubby. And finally, the Oakwood Staff, which is found on Party Bugs, which you can only get from the Roulette currently. So there you have it, that's everything on the equipment in the game currently. Again, using these equipment properly can really bring up the stats of your doodles. So in the comments below, let me know, was this helpful? And if you found it helpful or you enjoyed it overall, leave a like on the video because, you know, it helps me. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe because, well, you want more Doodle World content, right? Please? Anyway, with all that being said, I'll see y'all in another video. See ya.